This whole song is built on the tambourine being awesome. It's just it's relentless. And then the guitars are supposed to sound like they're from like an old Cure record. No one was expecting the lockdown to last that long, but with all that downtime and a combination of things that were happening in my life, I really took the time to work on my music, bringing some of that experimental and electronic voicing that had been lurking in the background of my music to the foreground. One thing for sure was that I had gotten better at vocal layering, and that was really something I wanted to emphasize at the core of most of my songs.
And I won't lose myself to love in the way I did the last time. So won't you come through tomorrow, won't you come through? Come through tomorrow, won't you?
I was so fruitful at that time with writing a clutch of, I'd say, like 20 songs. Some of the songs that would be the first Bison EP, some of the Deep Meat series, and some on albums that have not come out yet. More easily, I was making visual art using photography and collage and experimenting, even if crudely, with limited materials I had to sort of blend that art and sound, and having those images respond to the music that I was hearing in my head.
Hey, make some man take things over. Hey, let him loose, hard to swallow. Hey.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of it. There was a lot of visuals. There was a lot of music. As soon as I finished my dissertation, it was all music all the time, dancing, creating social media content, and trying to get through some major pieces of my life that were falling away or changing. And I was using social media, digital audio workspaces, sounds I was finding around the house to sort of chronicle the comedy and tragedy of the current events and personal events happening in my life.
That was what you were working for, was to do something different. Is that my take on it?
Yes.
That's the reality.
I think, like I was saying, part of that is indulging in an experimental side that has kind of been whispering on the sides in my albums, but also, you know, the immediacy of being able to write in a digital audio workspace. Kind of taking in some of those influences and those interests. Also, I'm like a big fan of bands like James Blake, Yves Tumor, HTRK, and saying like, why not, right? Like, why not?
Why not?
So, in the pandemic, I wrote the We Are Bison EP. I also wrote the Lord's Shrine EP that hasn't come out yet, which is more of a heavy psych rock album. And then I started writing the 2 upcoming Pony Bird EPs, which are Deep Meats 1 and Deep Meats 2. Do we want to know why it's called Deep Meats?
This isn't your usual Pony Bird fare. At the end of the lockdown, I moved into a super tiny new home. It was sparsely furnished at the start, and a lot of my gear was just donations from friends that didn't want old stuff or acquiring things online. to create a small bedroom studio that eventually expanded into both rooms of the house. So it gave me a lot of room to try and learn new material for upcoming live shows, or to mix what was going to be Deep Meats 1 and 2 and have a lot of space to really start to solidify the beats and drum and synth foundation that I was bringing in with those vocal layers that I had created as part of the core ingredients of the music.
I gave myself permission to write things that could make people uncomfortable, or and deliver the songs in a way that was very fuck you.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna do it. And I felt most comfortable I've ever felt as a writer in that. I was just like, boom, it came out. And once it hit, I was like, sounds like in your heart. I know what the heartbreak sounds like in your heart. I know what the heartbreak sounds like in your heart. I know what the heartbreak sounds like in your heart. So I was like, the only place I have to say something is here. And so and I'm mad. So I was like, we're in the Deep Meats now, everybody. Make no mention of the life you had before the slaughter. I could see the dark beginning creeping in while you were grinning. Does anybody know? Does anybody care? I don't know which way is where.
I forgot about Goblin Mode. I want to thank you for reminding me about Goblin Mode. It's something that David Longstreth told us about in a songwriting class, how he writes songs, and that's actually how I wrote Brace Yourself, because of Goblin Mode.
I felt like was happening to me, because I was also living in our house was isolated on like 10 acres in the woods.
Yeah.
And I'm like, bro, I'm in it. Like, I'm in the Deep Meat. One of the Bison songs, I was like poisoned, wandering the abandoned landscape. All I could see around me were like, we were getting these injections. They were making me sick. There's nothing on the shelves. We're all wearing masks. Like, I went into Deep Meats of that paranoia in that moment, and like pulled out these songs, and I kept joking with everybody. I was like, these are the Deep Meats.
Just finished mastering it at Sans Serif with Sam Carlson,
cool.
so he helped me with a lot of the post-production.
Sam Carlson, is he in band too?
Yeah, he's in the Tines.
Oh,
We love Sam.
I love Sam.
Sam's the best. They just played State House last night. He's an amazing talent on all levels, like as a writer and as an engineer and studio person. It's just phenomenal.
Oh, cool.
So I did all these myself, produced them, played on them, wrote them, and then brought all the final mixes to Sam once I was like tearing my hair out and was at a point where maybe my skill set had ceilinged out. And he's so quick about just like getting there, cleaning stuff up, making it sound how it should. And
that's a lot to put on yourself too.
yeah.
To do
Well,
all the work.
it is when I think for me, and that's why this album's a little spicy. And you had mentioned like, oh, it's all about not giving up. And I'm like, in this album, you're going to hear a lot of like S talk, donkey talking.
Donkey talk.
Because I think as a woman, I've heard a lot about, well, you didn't do it all yourself. And so-and-so did this, and the producer did that. And your husband carried the guitar and put it on you, and da-da-da-da. And I'm like, we're done. We're done.
Bye-bye.
We're done.
Yeah.
So in this case, I pushed myself to do all of it. And now I'm kind of like, who was that for, me or some other idiot? And the next album, I'm like, everybody's coming back. I have a super group formed for the release party.
Awesome.
Yeah, and then I'm hoping like I'll do majority of the production on the new record for Deep Meats 2, but I'll also have more players.
Cool.
Unmasked with eyes open apart, swimming in separate oceans you start. Heartbreak sounds like in your heart. Know what the heartbreak sounds like in your heart. You feel better, you feel better. You think you have made up your mind.
Next girls out. Next got feel better, feel better. You think you have made up your mind. It's too
Thank you. I just want to show you how vocals get done around here. Sometimes it's a Sennheiser, or it could be a Shure. We don't spend a lot of money on our microphones. We EQ them. Can't wait till I graduate to big girl microphones. Whatever that means.
Never happened to you. Can make things true. Happening, never happening, never happening.
Get some stretch in that last bit.
You know
joking. You came here to see a show. You came here to be entertained. This is vocal take time for the first track on Deep Meats 2 called 6-8. And right now what I'm doing is I'm just woodshedding. I'm woodshedding. I can hear things in my mind, but to execute those physically are very, very different things. And that's a skill I've been working on as a produce manager. I want to make sure that what I hear in my head is what's coming out. Sometimes creative accidents happen. We make new things when we try to make the thing we're trying to make. And that's why I always say process over product when it comes to picking out cantaloupe and other fresh melons. No, but for real, let's talk about the vocal take. This is where I'm at. There's a robotic Tyrannosaurus Rex that I didn't remember in there. Hold on, let me get rid of that, and then we'll be back.